What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't. So, I told you guys before, one of my previous videos, I told you guys you can definitely check it out. Kawhi Leonard's definitely a lot closer to coming back than what a lot of people thought he was. And now you hear Ty Lue giving his statements about Kawhi Leonard's availability, at least somewhat, and what he's been doing for the team. And, Kawhi has been working with the team, being on court, doing some on-court activities, getting one step closer to, him being back on the court. And, he's starting to do more drills and stuff with the team itself. He's ramping up pretty quickly, and he's definitely trending in the right direction. And as I said, I told you guys in that other video, you can go back and check it out if you haven't, one of my previous videos about that, because I knew from my sources that he was actually, working a lot more behind the scenes than what people were actually saying, as in like he wasn't really, working hard enough, or he's not coming back, probably the rest of this season. I even heard some media people say, and some other, YouTubers say as well. But as I said before, He's definitely going to be back this year. I mean, and he definitely should, not unless something, goes wrong, which we definitely don't want to hope that on any player, especially a player his caliber. But my point is, it's good news, and it's definitely encouraging. And, him actually getting on the court with the guys that's on the court now, out there playing and out there, doing their thing every night and trying to be, the best team they can be without a superstar player of his caliber. It says a lot about the team. It says a lot about what Ty Lue, has in store for this team. It says a lot about the efforts that these guys have as a unit, the way they play and how they gel on the court. And James Harden's been playing very good. I got to give James Harden credit, but I can't overstate the fact that James Harden has always really played good in the regular season. Throughout his years of service in the NBA, he's been one of the best regular season players in the league. The man's had MVPs, all that. He's actually even, 1 year with the Houston Rockets when they had Chris Paul, they actually went, I thought they could make it to a finals. I really thought they could, and Chris Paul goes down and all that stuff. And there's a lot of years in between that James Harden choked in the playoffs. But that 1 year I thought that was their year to actually make a good run to the finals. But it didn't happen. But either way, he's playing real good now. And hopefully he can continue, because they're going to need his expertise. They're going to need him to be that main superstar right now until Kawhi comes back. And then when Kawhi comes back, it'll take a load off of James Harden. And James Harden kind of just sit back in the shadows and pick his spots when he really wants to dominate games. And that's really what it's all about with this team. And that's the option that this team chooses to go with, or that's the route they really want to take. But Kawhi Leonard, the missing piece to the puzzle, has to be there for it all to gel and go together and actually trend the direction that they want it to. And so far, based upon his progress and how he's progressing, they're definitely trending in that direction. And I think that's something that the Clippers are happy about, of course. And Clippers fans should be happy about it too, because Kawhi hasn't stepped on the court none this season so far, and this team is, a playoff team right now. They really are. They might be between, the sixth, I say the fifth and the seventh seed pretty much, throughout this whole time, that's where pretty much where they're going to land up or end up, at least between this time of the season. And if they get Kawhi back, they might shoot up to number 3 or 4 and solidify a playoff spot and put themselves in position to be a playoff team rather than a team that might fall into the play-in tournament. So I like their chances. I like everything they're doing right now as a team. And like I said, when they add Kawhi back, you're looking at a team that really might be, as I said before, a team that nobody wants to face in a 7-game series, because they got a bunch of scrappy guys. They got a bunch of guys that play defense and that really predicate themselves on the defensive end, something that the Clippers haven't had before. They haven't had 4 or 5 guys that really predicate themselves on the defensive end and really don't care too much about scoring. They really haven't had that. The closest they had that was when they had Nicholas Batum, Marcus Morris, Kawhi, PG. But really, they wasn't really all defensively inclined like that. They was really more, they showed defensive prowesses at times, but they didn't really actually put it all together with the continuity that I thought they should have done, at that time back then. But the way this team is now, the way they're built now, they're built to face anybody in a 7-game series. And I can tell you, the Dallas Mavericks and a lot of teams like that, I don't think they have a chance against the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard, even though they have Kyrie and Klay Thompson, I still wouldn't like their chances. I really still wouldn't like their chances at all against a team like, the Clippers. I mean, you can look at other teams in the West too. I mean, it'll be a battle, but I mean, with Kawhi there, with the way these guys are playing, I mean, I'm telling you, I can really literally see this team going to the finals if they stayed healthy. And this is without Paul George. This is without the services of Russell Westbrook. You know what I mean? So you can look at it in a multitude of ways. You really can. But, I mean, anything can happen between now and that time. The playoffs is a little ways away. We just want to make sure Kawhi gets back on the court pretty quickly. And like I said, it's definitely a good thing to hear that. It's definitely encouraging news. And because, I mean, really, the NBA is not the same to me without Kawhi Leonard. He's just one of those players where it's like, you know who the top 5 players are in the league when healthy, and he's one of those players. Me personally, he's the best player in the league when healthy because I don't really see nobody better than him. You can't say LeBron is better than him because really he's too old. Now, he's got Anthony Davis on his side, but that's a hell of a sidekick to have. Anthony Davis, you can kind of say, some people might say Anthony Davis is better, but I mean, he isn't as accomplished as Kawhi Leonard. You could say Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant really isn't better. He's just as accomplished pretty much as Kawhi Leonard. They got the same amount of championships. And Kawhi did it with less talent. This guy had a lot of big threes, including the team he's got now, and can't even get past the second round with this team. Barely. So, and then you can go down the list, but other players are not even halfway as accomplished. You can put Stephen Curry up there, of course, but to me, Steph is great. But Steph has had a lot of help in his career. I'm talking help that most players like Kawhi wish he would have had. He had Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. Well, of course, you're going to win multiple championships with all that firepower. It's really not that hard. I mean, Kawhi would have 4 championships if he played with Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green. He would have 4 championships. Really. He might have more. Who knows if he stayed healthy. But regardless of, forget all that. Kawhi is working. The Clippers are working towards a goal, getting him back on the court. And until then, they're playing pretty good basketball. So we have to acknowledge that. And hopefully Kawhi comes back quick enough so they can be playing great basketball and put themselves in position to be the best team they can be going into the playoffs when that time comes.